Great to have you with us. My name is Daniel Dazin. Our police prosecutors have presented to a Wager Circuit Court evidence to be used against a driver and his conductor charged with assault of a policeman. Copies have been handed to the accused persons, with the court setting April 15 as date for trial to commence. A team of 9 legal practitioners on Friday secured bail for the two who were captured in a viral video fighting a policeman. They have since accused the police of brutalizing them while they were in custody. Medical examinations conducted shows evidence of torture. Joy News' Henry Kwesi Bedu followed them to the hospital. Here's the report.
The cry of a scared driver and his mate remanded in police custody after they were charged with various counts of assault on a police officer. According to them, past experiences meant they would not be spared, as they were to spend about 2 weeks in police custody.
Your back court to remind me, say, on my remind me, the young 2 weeks in a home put the name see a way.
Days after they were granted bail, driver Francis Boabing and his mate Albert Tansan narrate how they were subjected to inhumane treatment while in police custody.
My shampoo, my medical report, police in Momabu Bomino.
When I took my medical report to the Odoko police station, the officers didn't even look at it. They started beating me from the time I was arrested until I was taken to court.
When
the judge remanded us, we knew we wouldn't be spared. The investigator said we should plead guilty and our sentence may be reduced.
But we
did otherwise because we were innocent. After the court hearing, they beat us some more. An Odoko police officer with the name Segbefia handcuffed me and punched me. They beat us as if we were murderers. The situation got worse when we were taken to the CID headquarters. Female police officers also beat us with handcuffs in their hands. The BNI helped us. They made me sleep in the bathroom when I was arrested. The bathroom was so small, I struggled to sleep. On Friday, March 15, when my driver was also arrested, he joined me in the bathroom together with other inmates.
Back. Seconds, no, inside. No, so honestly, later no buy inside. No, every Friday no buy inside. No,
and before we were taken to court, any police officers who had seen the viral video and felt like beating us did. The police officer we fought also had his turn and hit me hard in the head. My pelvic area was stomped at the CID's anti-armed robbery unit. The BNI saved us. They didn't lay a finger on us. They took us to the hospital for treatment.
The
medical officer at the Opoku Hospital, Dr. Alfred Opoku, tells Joy News his evaluation on Francis and Albert shows evidence of assault.
The driver is Francis Boabing. He presented with a painful right eye, left ear pain, and then a severe backache. And when I examined him, the right eye, looked a bit reddish, and then the left ear also looked reddish. Now, I've put him on antibiotics and then some painkillers also for his back. And then I've asked him to come back in a week's time. I'll review him. If he doesn't do too well, I may request x-rays of the back, the chest, and then I also send him to see the ENT specialist at Kolebu. The other man, also he came in with a catarrh that he's had for some time, and then he also complained of severe headaches. He also had general body pains, and then he also complained of a very severe lower abdominal pain. Basically, when I examined him, he had a bit of tenderness at the lower abdomen, and I've put him on medications, including antibiotics. I've also asked him to come back and see me in a week's time.
Industrial Relations Officer, the GPRTU, Abbas Ibrahim Moro, is demanding justice for the driver and his mate.
We want justice to prevail. We want justice to prevail. We have rule of law. We have laws. We have the LI 2180. Yes, if the driver has offended, what did the traffic law says? Has the police has that right to attack the driver, attack the mate? Is it right? The video we saw, that was in the beginning. We never saw them arguing. We never saw what prompted. The only thing we saw was a short video while the driver was defending himself against the attack brought in, or the brutality brought in by the police officer. We want peace to prevail.
Director General of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service, ACP David Eklu, would not speak on record, but says that the two should take up the alleged assault issue in court if they felt they were maltreated while in police custody. Francis and Albert are to reappear at the Wager Circuit Court today, April 1, 2019. Henry Kwesi-Bedus reports for Joy News.
Now, still on this story, a Wager Circuit Court on Monday set April 15 as a date to commence trial after police prosecutors submitted documents to the court. Cynthia Nimo Ampredu is a member of the legal team for the two.
So what we had to do was basically to take the necessary documents on the docket from the prosecutor and then ask for an adjourned date when we'll take a seat and then review the documents and then take the necessary directions in terms of how the trial should proceed.
The bit about their assault, we have in fact engaged doctors who examine them, who say that they saw signs that indicate that they have indeed been assaulted, as you had been informed when you visited them. How far do you intend to take this matter?
Well, I'm not privy to the information you got from the doctor's office, but basically there's been an allegation of the sort, like you rightly said, and what we'll do is to make sure that we gather the necessary evidence, because you can't just make allegations and then you can make a big case out of that. But once you have the necessary evidence, then we would advise on the steps to take. But if there has really been abuse, like it's been alleged, we'll definitely take it forward.
And for the trial proper, what are your expectations? We understand that you also have been able to engage some witnesses who were present on the day of the incident that you intend to bring to the court to testify in favor of your clients.
Yes, so we are making those contacts, and once we have them, we'll proceed.
But the documents that you talked about, you have every complement of the evidence the state intends to use?
We are yet to review the document. We just received them in court today.
Away from that story, a new EOCO report cited by Joy News has exonerated former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Education, Winneba, Professor Mauto Avoke. The anti-graft agency has concluded its probe and found, among other things, that Professor Avoke did not abuse his office nor breach procurement laws. More in the following News Desk report.
The former Vice-Chancellor and 4 other officials were dismissed in April 2018 following an emergency meeting, prompting an EOCO probe. But according to the EOCO report, the professor did not abuse his office nor breach procurement laws as alleged. It says the allegation that the mode of selection of One Power Bidu Construction Limited and CDEC Limited for the award of various contracts by the university did not follow procurement rules is untrue, since procurement rules were followed. It also says that the 3% on investments paid to all management staff of the school is lawful. Again, the allegation that the university failed to use the competitive tendering process in the purchase of 8 pickups at 800,000 cedis cannot be substantiated, hence it's merely speculative. Chief Technical Officer, Ghana Highway Authority in Winneba, Lawrence Lamptey, was however found culpable of willfully causing financial loss to the state, contrary to Section 179A of the Criminal Offences Act 1969 Act 29, conflict of interest, as well as using public office for private gain.
Away from that, the Uber driver who stabbed his passenger over cost of transportation has had his app removed from the company's system. The driver allegedly stabbed the passenger, Daniel Isiama, on the back of his left hand as the two disagreed over cost of transportation. The driver has since been arrested and Daniel has received medical attention. Head of Communications of Uber West Africa, Francesca Yuri, says management is assisting the cantonment police to investigate the matter. This was contained in a response to an email to Joy News. Here are the details. Right, so you can see that on your screen. They're signed by Francesca Uriri, Head of Communications, Uber West Africa. She says, what's been described is deeply upsetting and is in clear violation of our community guidelines. Violence of any kind is not tolerated by Uber. Upon being made aware of this, our incident response team, who are trained to deal with any critical safety issues, have commenced outreach to the driver to offer full support. The driver's access to the app has been removed. Immediately removed, they say, and we are currently assisting the police and relevant law authorities with ongoing investigations in the case. Let's get some updates from the police, and PRO for the Accra Region Police, DSP Ifya Tenge, is on the line. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thanks for joining us. Has this issue come to your attention, and what is the police currently doing about it?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, DSP, if you can hear me, we want to know if this issue of the stabbing of a passenger by an Uber driver has come to your attention, and if it has, what is the police doing about it?
Yes, thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers as well. My information is that the issue has come to the police, and that was even far back on Friday. And this morning, they were in the process of arraigning them before the court. That is the suspect in this case. However, when the victim was spoken to, he says that he wants to go for medical treatment this morning. So they will also arrange them before the court, probably today or tomorrow.
I'm curious, ma'am, when was this issue reported to the police station again?
Yes, I'm told it was on Friday.
And the victim did not visit the hospital from Friday till today?
He said he is going for treatment. If he's been to the hospital, I believe that he has to go for dressing. So this morning, when the investigator spoke to the victim, he says that he needs to go for dressing this morning.
When was the police medical form issued to the victim?
Usually, it's after the case has been reported. So I'm sure it was reported, it was given to him after the report that is on Friday.
Right. So what's next regarding the prosecution, the arraignment, I mean, of the suspect?
Yes, the issue is not very cumbersome at all. We usually have to go for allocation of the doctors where a court is prescribed for the investigator for the case to be prosecuted. So it's not any cumbersome issue at all. What matters is for the due process to be followed. And I believe that maybe by tomorrow they should be in court.
Thank you very much, DSP Ifya Tenge, for joining us this afternoon. To another story now, and the dreaded return of a power crisis has been confirmed by policy think tank Africa Center for Energy Policy, which has said government is facing financial challenges. Executive Director Ben Boache has said government is struggling to find money to buy fuel. He alluded to the fact that this is how the Mahama government doomsaw started in 2011 and 2012. Mr. Boache ruled out the cause of erratic power supply over the weekend to Ghana's installed capacity to generate power. Speaking to me on the Super Morning Show on Joy FM Monday, Mr. Boache said this is not a technical challenge. Now, also, energy expert Kojo Poku has corroborated the assertions of ASEP. Speaking on the AM show, Mr. Poku says government must work to ensure the problems that plunged the country into darkness are averted.
So we got to know it, took its head in the country. What happened was that it started with events One thing, it started off with an anchor hitting the Western gas pipeline, then second incident, one technical problem here, one technical problem there. But eventually, what we Ghanaians will tend to experience is that we do not have dependable power. In the last couple of weeks, some of us who are analysts in the industry have said that, look, looking at the infrastructure that was put in place, the installed capacity that we have in the country, it will be difficult for us to go back to the situation of 2012, 2013, thereabout. But events of the last couple of days has also gotten some of us to change our mind. It seems that it is possible for us to go back to the era where parts of the country will not be having light for certain number of days or hours, meaning that there are distresses in the system, be it financial or be it technical. Those are causes of the problem. But the problem, nobody now in Ghana, within the government, outside government, cannot deny the fact that we have challenges. And the challenges, the immediate solution is to find an holistic view of how to approach it. The ministry and the government should understand that it is the same problem that took us into doing so from 2011. And they should sit up and look at it and grab the bull by the horn now before it escalates. Okay. Your finance is also playing a role with some documents that some of us have gotten to see in the past couple of, and we are studying it. And as time goes on, we will come to basically make our position clear. It is in regards to PDS coming into the system. And this has been a tussle between PDS and when the concessionaire is between the concessionaire, Midday, and PULC, and who has the right to set tariffs.
Right.
And from the assumption of PDS has submitted some tariffs to Ministry of Finance, and from the documents we are seeing, Ministry of Finance seems to have accepted the tariffs of PDS without consulting PULC. And those are that's a development that's coming up that some of us are studying. But like I said, at the right time, we'll be able to come out and make these pronouncements.
A few reasons for this situation, and Ghana Gas Company Limited has shut down for the next 10 to 12 days to enable a connection between WAPCO and Ghana Gas. The situation has become necessary as a result of a shortfall at the Atuabo gas plant. CEO of Ghana Gas Company Limited, Dr. Benjamin Asante, addressed the media.
The outage really is. And let me start really from the first question that someone asked me when I was walking up the stairs. He said, well, what is a shutdown? So a shutdown, essentially, is taking a facility out of service, to put it simply. And you can have either a planned shutdown. Sometimes it's called an outage. That means the facility is out of service, an outage. And you can have either a planned shutdown or a planned outage, or an unplanned one. A planned one usually for maintenance purposes, and an unplanned one sometimes due to operational upsets, and also sometimes due to willful tampering of facilities or equipment by third parties. So why do we do this is the next question. Why do you have outages or shutdowns? And in this case, we're talking specifically about the planned outage. A couple of reasons. First, it's really to meet insurance and warranty requirements, and also to preserve the integrity of your facility. And sometimes you just want to also have some modification or addition to an existing system. And that is particularly why we are actually gathered here today. The fact that we are looking at now interconnecting Ghana Gas's pipeline system with that of WAPCO. Certainly, when that happens, more often than not, you would have to shut both systems down. And it's not just a matter of just joining two pieces of pipe. it goes way beyond that. First, your system will have to be depressurized. That means these systems are at very high pressure. You have to depressurize them, and you also have to make them inert. Inert, that will mean that you will have to take all the flammable gas out of the system before you can do any works, hot works of interconnection. And then it's also be looking at equipment and facilities such as your regulator, your metering facilities, expansion, piping that you may have in there will all have to be modified. Heaters, all those will also have to be modified to meet your intended design, if you will. So that is where we are at now. We are looking at actually interconnecting WAPCO's system to Ghana Gas system. And why are we doing that? Essentially, to be able to take some of the surplus or residual gas in the West. You're all aware that we do have a lot of gas in the West, more than what our facilities, generation facilities can actually take. So we intend to take any surplus gas that is resident in the West through that interconnection and also through WAPCO's system to the East, where the gas supply is, to describe it generously, very anemic. I think you're all aware of the interruptible nature of the gas supply.
The West and East.
Okay. So East reference is Tema, and West is Takoradi. Those are the two critical load centers in the country in terms of power generation. So we have a lot more gas in the West, which is the Takoradi enclave, and we don't have enough. In fact, the only supply in terms of gas is from the WACP, which, as I described, is intermittent. So we intend to bring that surplus gas that we have in the West or Takoradi area to the Tema area. That's essentially where we are at. I think we began some 3 or so weeks ago, and the intent was to have what we call a partial shutdown. So with the partial shutdown, you would be able to still flow some gas whilst you do some works, which you will bring in and then tie in later on. But we are now on the cusp of a total shutdown. A total shutdown means there will be absolutely no gas flowing through those two systems. That means, what will be the impact then? So the impact is simple. You would have to make sure that you have an alternative facility or an alternative fuel source. And I think I would talk more about the alternative fuel source. I think what we together with our partners from VRA and GMPC, to look at fuel that would substitute for the gas that is really coming through Ghana Gas. So I think with that, I will call on some of my colleagues to tell us about where we are at with respect to procuring fuel to substitute.
So that's what the CEO of Ghana Gas, Dr. Benasante, has been saying. We stay with this story because Maxwell Agbagba was in Dansoman, where some business owners say it is crippling their businesses.
From early in the morning to late in the afternoon, light out. And when it happens that way, it means we have to, fuel the generator with petrol, which is extra cost. And then at the long run, you don't get value for your money, because you buy petrol about 50 Ghana cedis, and then you are charging hairdo for like 5 Ghana cedis, and then at the end of the day, you wouldn't get that amount of people coming. And even if you do, then it means that all your money has gone into petrol. It's really affecting business. I get in, and then there are some customers that when they come here, they don't like the blade. Just yesterday, since morning, we're in till about 6 p.m. in the evening. It was so bad. It's so bad. This is not what we were promised. This is not what we were told. Last time I was watching the TV news, I was told that they are giving us just a time frame of 1 week. It's past 1 week now. So why are the electricity Ghana company doing that? It's so bad.
As we're speaking now, the power went off last night, and it's not come up to now. And as I'm speaking to you right now, my phone is off. The room is hot. You can't sleep. The kids can't sleep. Everybody's miserable. So if there's something they have to do, they should do it quick, because it's terrible. The weather is not conducive for this doing so. If it's do so too, they should give us a schedule. So we plan our schedule. We know if we have to iron our stuff, you have to do this, you have to freeze your stuff, then you know what is going on. But we don't know nothing. The power just keeps on going on and off and on and off, and it's terrible. So they should let us know what is going on, period.
This place is a very busy place that sometimes when the light is out, we use hand dryer. So sometimes you have to wait, and sometimes to this place is stoked. When there is light up, you have to close our shop and go home. It is very bad. Sometimes they have to tell us that there will be a light out so that you'll be aware of what to do. But sometimes they don't tell us, we will be there, then the light is off. It's very, very bad.
Away from past situations, now residents of the Northern Region capital Tamale have lauded the call for the legalization and commercialization of tricycles and motorbikes. Though some have raised concerns of safety and regulation of their operations, it's already the main mode of transport. Now, in the recent past, taxis used to be the means of transport for the people in the area, but the costs involved quickly made tricycles a favorite, popularly known as yellow due to its dominant color, or nahi from its home of origin, India. Correspondent Martina Bugri takes a ride in one of the tricycles to find out more about what makes it much more convenient.
That is the station for tricycle. If your destination is Jakara, among others, this is where you will pick your tricycle. Now, within these destinations, we have the charges between 1 cedi and 1 cedi 50 pesos. Here this afternoon, we are joining several other commuters to find out whether the call for the commercialization of tricycles and motorbikes is the right call. I just joined one of the tricycles. You either call it yellow or nai in the Northern Region. I'm going to have a chat with some of the passengers, and then we'll find out what they think of this call. Good afternoon and welcome to join us. Now, there's a call for the commercialization of tricycles and motorbikes. What do you make of it?
I think it's a good call. Tricycles have a lot of benefits, and it's easy to use. There are certain places the tricycle they were cheaper though, but now it's like not that cheap. Probably because of fuel hikes.
Okay, my brother, do you agree that they should commercialize tricycles, motorcycles?
I think it's a good idea to commercialize the tricycles. There are some places a taxi goes and takes you to 2 cities. If you are going with a tricycle, at most you want to be. So I think you should commercialize the tricycle.
Lexington Amu, Abdul Rashid Husseini and Afa Ali agree to the call that tricycles and motorbikes be commercialized. They say it is accessible to every destination of your choice in the area. It is convenient and very cost effective.
Where I'm coming from is very far. I'm coming from Kakwai. I get out from the house. It will take about 5 kilometers from our house to the main road. And from there to the main road, there are no taxis. So you have to border the yellow unit to take you from your house to the main road before you can get a taxi.
We did research at some points in Tamale here. If you don't use the tricycle or motorbike, you cannot go there. Yes, and it's very convenient. It's very convenient. I think everyone in Tamale here, and he likes it. So we all love that we use it, but we have to make sure that it is well managed and proper documentation. It's helping a lot. It's helping, look at that. Everybody to run this than taxi. So I think so. If they legalize it, it's good.
But Salif Fusisu disagree with these advantages. He says it's going to create chaos and so many accidents in the neighborhood.
Even though it was not even legalized, those who operate go and check the system, see the kind of messes they cause on the roadside. A lot of accidents, they'll hit and run away. A lot of, they almost cause traffic jam all the time in town. Don't even stop at a traffic point. When they come, they pass. If you stop them, they'll go without helmet or with one helmet. So even if you legalize them, the question is, how do you control them?
For the people of the region and the metropolis, using of the tricycle is a daily occurrence. Name of any destination from here, and then you would get means to go. For these people, all they want is legalization. For Joy News, Martina Bukwi reporting.
Well, it's also called Pragya in Kumasi after the Kunkumbagia character and Mahama Kambu after an ex-president. Now, transport consultant Cecil Gabra says legalizing commercial motorbikes and tricycles will lead to more fatalities on the road. He spoke earlier on News Desk with Bernice Abubedulanta.
Traveled to Tamale quite recently. I saw it, right? There's discipline amongst them, but it is wrong. Let us do the right thing. Let us continue to develop our nation. I mean, and then it still goes back to politicians that, I mean, if we stick to say that we'll do this road, let's do it, and let's provide the appropriate vehicles such as buses, right? What happened to the BRT? I mean, let me borrow 1 minute of it, and I said it, that the BRT is a failure about 5 years ago, and we are seeing it. What is happening? We brought in all these buses, and even Accra, we don't have congregated roads. It's a failure. What about the other regions? If we are able to develop the roads close to a city, that's also going to help the issue of people migrating to Accra to come and continue with this mess. So I stick by my words as a road safety consultant that no, LI 2180126 says it's an offense to use the tricycle as well as a motor bike to have a pillion rider sitting behind, and then you collect money from that person for the fare. It is wrong. Don't let us have laws that will break the laws. Okay, there are lots of regularities that needs to be done in terms of people using the motorway, like horses and so on, right? But there we see the motorway is no longer a motorway. It's rather a risky highway, and a lot of people die. Right, the way forward, enforcement. Enforcement. I always talk about it, and then people go like, no. But then we have 4 technical E's, which we keep on repeating. If you read the statement of Occupy Ghana, we've spoken about it. Engineering of our roads, education, and then it's let's educate even the motor rider. And as soon as you see somebody doing a no U-turn, he's also going to do it, right? And you go free. Now, if we enforce the laws and taking that, bull by its horn to say, look, you have committed a crime, we are going to court, and so on, people would be scared. I remember about 25 years ago, I lived around Southla Estates, and people were defecating at the beaches, right? Now, the assemblyman came out and then brought policemen and so on. It's been stopped at the moment. I mean, at Salamadi Estate, maybe other places. So enforcement works, and we need to look at enforcement.
Still live on Joy News today with me, Daniel.